I like how when I open Google, the two websites it first pulls up for me to go to are Papa John's and Pornhub.
Wait, why Pornhub? Why not like Fur Affinity or Mertube or something like furry?
Because I'm fucking basic.
That's
all right?
fair. That's fair. I can't remember.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Rank Masters.
Are we actually starting it like that? Are we including that in the big? Oh my god! Of course we are.
We're gonna include it at the very beginning.
Welcome to season 3, folks. It's gonna get even more chaotic than that.
No, welcome to season 3 of Rank Masters. I'm one of your hosts, Trace, and that's the other host.
Hi, I'm Seth.
We are the Rank Masters.
Yes, we are.
Are the critics of internet lists.
Woo!
I almost forgot what the tagline was.
Yeah, you can't pull a me. You can't do what I have to do and forget it every single time.
Oh God!
What an intro!
So, it has been a while, everyone.
That it has. Lots of factors, lots of reasons for that.
We took a much needed break. Like work got busy, con season started up.
We had to resolve the beef that was going throughout the entirety of season 2.
Right.
We're on good terms now.
Right,
we're not
Seth
beefing
and I
anymore.
hated each other's guts at the end of season 2. We just couldn't stand talking to each other anymore.
But we're good. We're good. We handled it. We took care of it. We made out a little bit, and now we're on stables. We made out and made up, baby. Let's go.
We are on wonderful terms now. And that's why we're finally comfortable starting season 3.
Yay! Now, Trace,
Yay.
What are we starting
Yes.
season 3 out with?
So we are starting out season 3 with our good friends over at watchmojo.com.
Watch Mojo.
I'm starting it strong.
Starting it very strong.
It
was
way.
either Watch Mojo or like the top 10s. One of those two lists would be the starting. Like those are the only two ways to start a season, right?
Or like Listverse.
Oh my
whatever
god!
The ones,
I forgot about Listverse. Listverse was brutal. Yeah. Anyway,
So,
what was the actual list that we started with, though? Or do you have a way that you want to transition into this? We still haven't gotten better at like actually preparing this shit, have we?
There's a lot of mysteries in the world, like why Google recommends those two websites to me above everything else. And that's why today I want to talk about scientists cannot solve these 10 mysteries from watchmojo.com.
Oh, which 10? Okay. Now, my big question ahead of time.
Yes.
How many of these mysteries are going to be completely made up? Like, how many of these mysteries are completely false and Watch Mojo just bullshit their way through them?
I've got no clue. They seem kind of legit. Like, I've heard a few of these before and been like, oh, okay. Like, even sometimes these are like things that I will pull out of the pocket and be like, yeah, we don't know what this is. And I think I've actually done it a couple times on this podcast.
I was going to say, we've had a few episodes about aliens and ancient mysteries and stuff. I'm kind of curious how many of them correlate here.
Yeah, so
wait, so I haven't seen the list yet. Are any of these 10 something we've actually talked about before? Or do you remember?
Not directly. None of them are anything we've talked about. Well, that we've talked about directly.
Fair. Okay. Well, we'll get to that when we get to that then, I guess.
I know there's at least one of them that we had a tangent about, and one of them we did have like another tangent about.
I love multiple tangents, baby.
So this is an episode that may come back and get some of the highlights of the previous 2 episodes. But really, I just want to chill out. I want to talk about some scientific mysteries. I want to, have a good conversation with one of my best friends.
Aw, that seems nice. Yeah, because it's been too long since we've had a good conversation. The entirety of season 2, we hated each other's guts, and now we can be on good terms. We can have a good episode about weird fucking mysteries.
Yeah, we can actually relax and not want to just gouge each other's eyeballs.
Look, hey, the only time I will admit eyeball gouging is a feeling I get sometimes. Usually it's my own, and usually it's when I have a migraine. Because good lord, the eyeball pain is brutal. That's a mystery I want science to figure out. Why the fuck my eyeballs hurt when I get a migraine? I hate that.
No. Here's a mystery that isn't on the list is we don't actually know exactly why we get migraines.
Yes, I know that, and it fucking sucks. I hate it so much. I wish we knew more about our bodies. Like, we don't know why autism happens. We don't know why migraines happen. And as someone who's autistic and has migraines, fuck you, science. Figure it out, please.
No, literally, like, I hate that. We know what causes the pain so that we can address the pain, but we don't know why they happen. We don't know why the pain starts in the first place, which is crazy to me. There are so many things we don't know about our own bodies and the human brain, and it's just wild. So coming in at number 10, something we don't know about the human body. How does the environment influence genes?
Like the pants or...
Yeah. I was like, I know how the environment influences jeans. If it's cold, I wear long jeans. If it's hot, I wear short jeans.
That's fair. No, I assume this is more like talking about like genetic diversity and like how it leads to changes, or I guess just read what it says. How about that? Go for it.
People named Gene, actually.
People named Gene. There's a lot of them, actually. I was going to name them, but they're all named Gene, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's like you've already named all of them.
Yeah.
No, I went to high school with a girl named Jean. And I always thought that was a cool name for a girl, Jean.
Yeah. Jean's a fun name.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fun names out there.
There is. I think I've talked about this before, but like one of my favorite names, and that if I ever had a son, maybe, possibly, if I lived in like a progressive enough area, maybe, because he'd probably get bullied if I named him this, but I would love to have like a son named Sasha.
That's a great name. Oh, I love that. Oh, that would rule.
I love that name so much, and I've liked it ever since I read this furry mystery story. I'm not even joking. So I was in high school when this was like first coming out, and I was reading so much shit on sofurry.com. Does anyone remember that one?
I
think it's still going around.
It's still happening, yeah.
But it's like not as popular anymore. I mean, a lot of the furry websites aren't as popular anymore, but they're getting a little bit of a resurgence with the Twitter shit. But yeah, no, I was on SoFurry constantly reading stories, and one of them that I was reading was about like this couple, like this gay furry couple, in high school, and there was a murder mystery along with it, and like Sasha saw it, so they were like a witness. Sasha was one of the main characters.
Fun.
And like Sasha was also like a femboy, right? So he would constantly be like thought of as a girl because they'd be like, "Oh, Sasha, obviously a girl," and he'd be like, "No, actually, am man." So. But it was like really great. I remember there was this one scene. If anyone knows what story I'm talking about, by the way, like shout out to you. For
honestly, just name drop it, Trace. Do it.
I don't know what the story was called. Like,
no, now I'm doing the research. I'm looking up SoFurry right now.
It's been so long.
S-A-S-C-H. Is it S-A-C-H-A or?
No, I'm pretty sure it's S-A-S-H-A.
Okay.
But I read this story, and watch this. There's gonna be something in that story that's like so cancelable. Anyway.
Oh, probably. That's how it is with SoFurry. That happens quite often.
Oh, most likely. And like,
Wattpad
you know what?
Too.
I was in high school, okay? I was reading some questionable things on Archive of Our Own. So I was reading the story, and I'm like, man, I love the name Sasha. But anyway, sorry, I was going to say there was this one scene where one of the main characters was like a really good singer, and so they performed a song for Sasha, like dedicated on the stage, I'm pretty sure, to Sasha. And it was Animal by Neon Trees.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's so good because they're animals.
Gee, who would have ever guessed? Oh, I love that. This has nothing to do with the list, by the way. We're just kind of... I love this.
That's what the show is.
Yes, I know.
So, like, I think about this, like, furry story, and it was never finished. Or at least by the time that, like...
By the time that you stopped reading.
By the time that I stopped reading on SoFurry, because there was, like, a couple of years when I was still reading on SoFurry, but the story wasn't updated. So by the time that I at least left SoFurry, this story had stopped being updated. So I didn't know how it ended. I never knew who was the murderer, which was crazy. But it was really well written from what I remember, and I really enjoyed it. So I don't know. Shout out to that story.
I always hate whenever comics just like stop, or like they go on such a long... I mention comics because this is, for me, I'm more of a comic reader than a like book reader. For some reason I maybe it's the tism, I don't know what it is, but it's just I really struggle to just kind of sit down and read text only. But this happens so often with comics specifically, where like they get to a point and like the hiatuses last 2 or 3 years, and then at some point you're just like, I'm not going to keep checking to see if they updated. I'm just gonna sit, and then like eventually they put out one page and like, oh shit, they're back, and then they're not actually. And this has happened so often, especially I've noticed like Mystery Dungeon comics. I read a lot of like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon comics, and I feel like anyone who's involved in that community at all knows PMD Victory Fire, and their artist just kind of fell off the face of the earth. And then I don't know if they've come back since then, but that was like years ago, and nothing's happened. Nothing's made any changes, and it was like nearing the climax of the story too. Like they were almost done, God. And it just didn't end, and it just never. It hurt my soul, and that happens so often with comics, with stories, and like you just kind of have to sit and wait. There's a Minecraft story on Wattpad that I was involved in. That happened to.
You were involved in the Minecraft? Okay, beautiful.
Do you want the lore?
I want the lore, but I was about to move on, but then I was like, no, wait. We cannot we cannot not talk about this Minecraft. Go ahead, please.
This was actually a sequel to another story. The first one, it was one of the more popular Minecraft stories on Wattpad. It was called Life as a Minecraft Mob. I'm like, okay, like each chapter was like a diary entry from one of the Minecraft mobs. And
Wolf.
It was Minecraft Wolf, like the Creeper had a diary entry. Pretty much every mob in the game had a diary entry. And then the sequel revolved all around like the origins of Herobrine and Notch. And I don't remember all the details of it, but I know that like they were brothers or something along the lines, and then Herobrine died in a village war, and my Sona at the time was the person who killed him, because the author was like,
you killed Herobrine?
I killed Herobrine, because back at that time he was just a normal guy. He was just a normal Steve, and then I killed him, and then he came back, and I'm like, okay, fun. But yeah, the author was popular. Like, I was not very popular. I basically didn't exist, but the author was looking for suggestions of like, hey, I need Minecraft skins or characters to put in this war, and I'm like, yeah, I'll toss my name in there, and that was still back when I was Brave Tiger 1. So I was a tiger, and my soft paws with the sharp claws ripped out his throat, or something along. I don't remember the details of it, but sometimes I go back and I'm like, I'm so interested to see how that ended, and it didn't end. It just went on hiatus, and they never continued it. And I'm like, I'm glad they got that chapter where my character was in it, and then didn't continue.
Well, I wasn't talking about how popular you were. I was asking how popular was this story.
Pretty popular. Let me see if I can find it again. Life as a Minecraft. I'll go ahead and riff for me a bit.
Yeah, no. I mean, the other riff that I was going to make is like, I know what you mean. There was this comic that I was reading. It was a furry comic, and it was 18 plus, so don't go looking for it unless you're an adult. But it was called Pierce Me. And I think I've talked about this on the podcast before, but I loved this story so much. I loved the characters. I loved that they were like super flawed people, and I loved reading it. And what?
It's been completed.
Surprised. Oh, it's finished?
It's been completed. It's marked as complete. Holy shit.
Oh, you're gonna have to figure out what happened to your character. What if your
character in 2013? I thought it went on hiatus for years. No, it was started and finished in the same year. What the fuck? How did I not know that?
Maybe you just kept on missing the updates.
It could have genuinely been. I mean, that was around the time where I just stopped reading things on it. But yeah, the first book, Life as a Minecraft Mob, has 1.4 million reads, and then Broken Brothers had the sequel to it has 151,000 reads. So like in terms of Wattpad. Yeah, it was pretty popular. Damn, I'm gonna have to read through that at some point in time. That sounds like a really fun ODISeth like stream. That could be a fun thing to read on stream.
That's some deep lore. That's some deep Seth lore.
This is really deep Seth lore. What the fuck? I killed Herobrine. Well, it wasn't even Seth. It was before Seth existed. 2013. I was in middle school.
You were a husk.
I was a husk.
Just a husk floating along in life.
Was this chapter 10 murder or chapter 12 genocide? I can't remember which one it was.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It only took 2 chapters to increase from murder to genocide.
Well, do you want to go through all the chapters in order by title?
Yeah, please.
So we have,
now I'm curious.
We have Spawn, which makes sense as the first. Okay, Preparation. Yeah. Chapter 3 is War. 4 is Essence. 5 is Torchlight. 6 is Rebellion. 7 is Savior. 8 is Void. 9 is Reality. 10 is Void, not Vor. But 10 is Murder. Then 11 is Game. 12 is Genocide. 13 is Nemesis. 14 is Lost. And then there's a break where it says Making a Trailer. I don't know what the fuck that means. Then 15 is White, and then 16 is Gone. And then there's Thank You Editing Log, and then an update about the Waddy's Awards.
Interesting. Okay. Cool. Like, honestly, I love very short one-word chapter titles.
Yeah.
But going from murder to game to genocide,
it was weird.
I'm like, there was like a little bit of break in there where they're like, what if we just played Smash Bros?
Yo, let's go. The fun fact, this author also made a Smash Bros fanfic.
Oh my god.
It's called Hi My Name. Wait, no, it's not a Smash Bros fanfic. I think it's just a shit post. But it's wild. They've done a Slenderman fanfic. I don't know how to feel about this.
Like a sexy Slenderman fanfic?
I don't think so. I think it's just yeah. They did a Sky Does Minecraft fanfic. That might be how I found them.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh. Ow.
Fun fact, Sky Does Minecraft is the reason I'm a YouTuber, and then when I found out he's a shitty person, that hurt my soul.
Yeah. God, I can't wait till you get to your canceled era.
Yeah, I can't wait to be canceled. Someone cancel me. I've been trying to get one of my YouTuber friends canceled for ages, but
you're like, God, I have all of these receipts of them doing horrible things, and no one is listening to me.
No, I don't have any receipts of them doing horrible things. Sometimes, like, whenever they chat in my Twitch chat, they don't actually like watch any of my stuff. So I'm like, I like having them pop up, and the moment I see them in Twitch chat, I'm like, oh, chat, you know this guy Stibwoods, like, he hates women, and like, he doesn't at all, but he plays with it. He just rolls with it. He's like, yeah, I'm fucking misogynistic as hell. I'm like, hell yeah, I roll with it. And that's one of these days it's gonna get out of context and actually cancel him. It's gonna be so funny.
It's
gonna be so funny.
This guy over here, he fucking hates gay people.
This guy is homophobic as hell, and we're best friends.
Like he cannot stand the fact that I like men. It's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the list.
No, I was gonna say, look up Pierce Me if you want like a cool comic that doesn't end. Also, the artist like disappeared.
Pierce Me?
Pierce Me.
That sounds horny.
Yeah, I said it was an 18.
That's true.
Comic,
you did say that brought me to a shop called Pierce Me. So Pierce Me comic.
Well, the comic, like the website shut down. So
a webcomic. They have a Twitter page. Sorry, it hasn't been updated since 2016.
Yep, it disappeared.
uBlock Origin prevented the following page from loading. I don't trust this at all. Nope.
Yeah, no.
Nope. We're looking it up on Wiki first, see if they have an archive.
I'm looking it up on WikiFeet.
WikiFeet.
No, I know that it was archived on E621, so it does exist there.
That doesn't surprise me at all. It's also in Comic Fury. There's an archive of it there.
But as far as I know, none of the like one-shot companion comics like got archived, which really sucks because some of those were really cute. But
there's archives on yiffer.xyz.
Oh, good. I love yiffer.xyz.
What the fuck is this website?
Totally,
I've never heard of this before.
Totally
I like this art style though. This is a good art style. You weren't kidding. Very horny though. Good lord.
Are you on the
I'm on yiffer.xyz.
No, I was talking about because there's like two different art styles. There's the one from like
I'm on chapter 1 right now.
Like the super early one where it's just two people having sex and that's all it was.
Yes, but also the weird little pet thing that has strange eyes. I'll never mind. We don't have to discuss that.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I could put it up on the video, but I'm like, no, that's probably not a good idea.
No, probably not a good idea.
I have to censor so much.
Well, yeah, because there are two different art styles. There's the one that they made like a super long time ago, but then they really liked the characters, so they revisited them to make the Pierce Me comic. Mm-hmm. So there's like a epilogue.
Oh yeah, chapter 2 is a very different style.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I've definitely seen screenshots from chapter 2 though, because this that dog is very cute. Oh my god, I love them.
Yeah, the collie.
Yeah, the collie.
So
Look at them.
good.
They're so adorable. Aww.
I loved all the characters
they're so
in that
cute.
story. There's
I'm
an
very
image
horny.
of like one of the there's like one of the like a block of one of the characters saying "'cause I'm a slut," and I love it so much. And yeah, no, I miss that comic. I wish it would have been able to be finished, but the artist disappeared.
Tragic.
So nature versus nurture is one of the
back to the list.
It's one of the biggest debates in modern science. It's clear that everything from the way we look to the way that we behave is governed by our genetics and our environment. But exactly how these interactions happen remains deeply enigmatic.
Okay. Is that all Watch Mojo says?
No, there's more.
Oh, okay.
I was pausing to see if you wanted to interject there.
No, not really. I don't know what there is to say.
It wasn't until a landmark study that was published in 2020 that we even knew how genes determine a person's height, which it turns out comes down to roughly 10,000 genes working in tandem. But far from being immutable, our genetics can be influenced by all kinds of things in your environment throughout your life, from diet to how stressed you are. And we're a long way from understanding how exactly this works.
So your genetic code can be changed by that, or?
Yes, and actually there's been a few studies that show that through your environment, your personal DNA can be changed, and then you can pass that down onto your children.
Interesting. Okay, that is
very
clever.
Crazy.
Because I know it can be changed. I know like brain patterns and cognitive connections can be changed. That's obvious. But actually changing genetic code, environmental factors, that can be done. I know that can be done through cancer. Because that's how that happens sometimes. You get
right,
but there are non-cancerous ways. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like that gives more implications for evolution.
That it does, yeah. Which like as if we needed more implications for
proof,
it.
Yeah. But that like shows that it wasn't always completely random, right? That would mean that our genes were purposely changing to suit the environment. And then we pass those down to our offspring and they just change purposely.
That is pretty cool. I do like the idea that there's a bit more intent into, or not intense, but like actual reactive to the environment as opposed to completely being random and not like just trying not to die. I like that. I like that. That's cool.
Yeah. No, I think it's also very cool. Watch Mojo. Why did you freeze?
Because you've seen that with like behavioral evolution quite often. But like where you gain a behavior as a response to environment, then that gets passed on to your offspring. But I like that idea. That's neat. That's pretty cool.
No, I think it is also very cool. But also, like, damn, I hope I'm in a good environment. I mean,
true.
That's something, to get a little tiny bit serious, that's like, I'm fat.
You are?
Yeah, I am.
Traits I never noticed.
I am a fat man, and there are so many things about being fat that automatically doctors assume that you're just going to get. Like, I have been told that I'm going to get diabetes for so long, and I never have. And
lucky.
And right, but I mean, and I'm sure that like as I get older, the rate increases more and more and more. But this is something they were telling me since I was like 12.
Yeah.
They're like, you're going to develop diabetes in a couple years if you don't change. And I was like, oh shit, I better change. And then I just never have.
Well, diabetes is more often than not, it's the result of behavioral aspects. Your behavior is pretty good at avoiding diabetes. Like your body is fat for sure, but
dodging it like a
like you're playing dodgeball.
I'm dodging the diabetes wizard so hard right now.
Oh, you're hit with the diabetes ray.
Have you seen that? Okay, there was a thing on Twitter that was like, do y'all remember when Dr. X hit Magneto with the Holocaust beam?
Huh?
And it was because, like, it was this is Dr. X or Mr. X or
Professor X. I know my
Professor
X-Men.
X.
Come on, be more of a nerd, asshole.
Sorry, Professor X and Magneto were fighting, and like Magneto was about to like blast him with something, and Professor X was like, no, and like did like, you know, that image in like a beam shot, and then Magneto started getting war flashbacks to the Holocaust. And someone quote tweeted it and was like, damn, you hit me out of my chair, Holocaust beam.
Holocaust beam. Holy shit, that's wild.
And that's what I'm doing, like with the diabetes wizard, is I'm constantly dodging his diabetes beam.
Was that comic or
it was
cartoon?
One of the
it looks cartoon. Yeah,
it was one of the animated shows.
God damn, that that hurts though, because like that's a core element of Magneto's character, is that he is a Jewish person who escaped the Holocaust. He survived it, and that's like such a huge part of his trauma.
And Professor X
is relive it, fucker. Holocaust beam. Holy shit.
Holocaust beam.
What an asshole. Okay, well I think DC Comics and the Harley Quinn show did something similar where she shot someone with a cancer ray. And then she read it and she's like, wait, why would they even make a cancer ray? And it's like, oh no,
why would they do this?
Why would they do this? Yeah, because that was in Bruce Wayne's research laboratory. So Batman invented the cancer ray.
Oh God!
And I don't know how I feel about that.
Batman is the cancer wizard.
Batman is the cancer wizard. Wait, so does that mean like Superman is the fucking diabetes wizard that you're trying to avoid? Mm-hmm. It's the Flash.
All the time.
It's the Flash, actually.
The Flash is the diabetes.
The Flash is the diabetes wizard. Oh no!
Well, and I mean, like that is one of the reasons that I've started working out more.
Fair.
Because like. One of them is I want to just get more stamina.
Yeah, you got it. We got there eventually.
Whatever. I want to be able to walk longer and walk more is pretty much what it is. But then also like it's just good to get active so that your body is producing more like
happy chemicals
that you need. Yeah, and happy chemicals too. Like yesterday I woke up feeling like shit mentally, and I was just like, I need to do something. And I'd already planned to go to the gym yesterday anyway.
Hi, Jim.
So like, at like 7:30 a.m., I went to the gym.
Yeah, you know what? I don't blame you.
And I stayed there for like an hour and 30 minutes. So
I need to work out more often because I've noticed like I have those times where I could be doing something and my brain and body is like, let's do something self-destructive rather than, you know, be physically active or something beneficial to me. And like I play Smash Bros. And that's the worst thing that I could ever do.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I need to uninstall Smash Bros. And replace that with going to the gym. And it sounds like you've noticed that in your own behavior, and not Smash Bros. Obviously, but
yeah. Well, my bad behavior is doom scrolling Twitter when I feel bad.
Fuck Twitter. Just uninstall it, dude. Move to Blue Sky.
No, because like there's actually some, and also Blue Sky kind of sucks.
No, it's getting better.
There's not enough people there that I know.
It's no longer invite only. That is true.
I know.
The lack of video support is
I can't
bad.
Post videos. Like
YouTube videos get embedded though.
It's been hard to find people that I do know that are on there, and when they are, they usually aren't that active. And it's just, and like, I can normally control doom scrolling Twitter, and I've gotten better at it. And I've made my algorithm pretty neat on
That's
Twitter.
good.
So,
that's good that you've
like,
got a good algorithm.
So like that's all nice. It's just the problem is that when I'm feeling self-destructive, I purposely go to the Twitters that have bad algorithms.
Yeah.
So that's my problem, is maybe I need to just get rid of those accounts. That
might be wise.
Accounts.
Or just uninstall Twitter, and every time you want to go to Twitter, just go to the gym instead.
No. Because like out here in the middle of fucking nowhere, Twitter is how I can at least see what my friends are up to.
That's
and how
fair.
How they're doing.
Yeah, I do get that. I understand. I do like the idea of like sort of punishing yourself, but also sort of rewarding yourself every time you do something that you're not happy with. One of my, you know, the idea of like a swear jar, right? Where you put like a coin or a dollar in a jar every time you swear, and you try to like stop yourself from swearing. One of my friends recently started doing that, but instead of swearing, it's jerking off. So every time they're horny or like they orgasm, they put $25 in a savings account that they're not using.
$25?
Yeah. And they're like, this is the way. Well, to make it so they don't have access to that anymore.
Why?
I don't know, but it's working for them. It helps them kind of resolve that issue. Where like it's something they don't want to continue doing, and this is how they're stopping to do it. They're like, they get a financial hurt every time it happens.
Oh my God.
And I think that's kind of funny.
I don't understand what the big hoopla is about not diddling your winky.
They did tell me there was one day where they got a message from their bank saying, hey, we noticed you put like 5 deposits of $25 in the account today. Couldn't you have just done it as like one $125 deposit? And they're like, no, I couldn't have. I'm like,
well, interesting. Maybe it should be at the end of the day they can do it in all one lump sum.
I know, but I do think it's funnier having them be separate like that. Like that seems funny.
That way you can look at your shame when you open up that savings account and you can see all the deposits.
Yeah, you get to see the timing.
You could be like, fuck. On that day I was 7 times.
Holy shit, that's so much money.
I don't know. Coming in at number 9.
Oh my god, right. We're 30 minutes in and we only did one bullet point. Holy fuck.
It's been a while. We're actually friends again. So
yay!
Coming in at number 9, why do we sleep?
That's actually a good question. I sleep because I'm tired and I want to sleep.
Yeah, usually. If you're healthy, you do it every single day. And if you ever go too long without it, you'll certainly feel the consequences. Yeah. But you may be surprised to learn that scientists don't actually know what sleep is for. We need sleep, that's clear enough, but why? And why do we have to spend a third of our lives doing it? Scientists believe it's a way for the brain to keep house and recover from the day's events, though how exactly sleep archives this is still quite mysterious. There are many theories, but until we can learn more about the human brain, or even brains in general, we might not be able to unravel this mystery.
I could have sworn we solved this.
Really?
I could have sworn. Okay, so me and my psychology background, I think this is something that we've figured out. So I think we've determined why we need sleep. Not just that we need it, but we've determined the exact effect that it does and why it's necessary for all living animals to have that effect.
Right, it's because we're in a simulation and it can't process all of our thoughts at the same time. So there has to be at least like half of the population asleep at all times so that they can process the other people.
I mean, I think it's more like 1/4 of the population asleep at all times.
1/4 of the population. I don't know.
But either way,
I said half because, like, you know, day night. There's only 2 sides of the coin.
Yeah, that's why clearly every time the sun goes down, we all immediately fall asleep. Clearly,
you don't do that.
No. Yeah. God, no, imagine traffic.
No, my fucking problem right now is I've been in Boston so much recently that I fall asleep at like 9:30 now.
Hey, you're like me. Yeah.
It's like,
does that mean you wake up at like 5 a.m. like I do?
Yes, I've been fucking trying to go to sleep later, and last night, thankfully, I got all the way to 11.
Nice, pop off, queen. I'm proud of you.
That was big for me. But so my problem is I've been going to bed at like 9:30 and waking up sometimes at 4 a.m. and my body's like, we're awake now.
We're awake? Like, yeah, you can't go back to sleep.
Go to bed. But then the problem is that when I try to go to sleep, then I wake up and then like I feel like shit because I slept too long. So I've just had to kind of accept it that I'm going to wake up at 4 to 5 a.m. and just go about my day, and then I'm tired at 9:30, and I haven't been able to fix it.
Trust me, I know that all too well, and especially when you're living alone, that is a big problem. Like, no, it's not. I think it's less of a problem when you're living alone, because you can start your day at 4 a.m. if you want to. Like, that's why there are like 5 a.m. gym goers and all that jazz. Like, you have things that you can do, but if you're living with roommates, suddenly you have to worry about not waking them up. You know?
Yeah.
And that's been hard for me because I've for most of my life I have not had a roommate, and now I have a roommate, and I'm like, her and I have very different sleep cycles, and I'm so worried every time I wake up at 4 a.m. that I don't want to wake her up and I don't want to do anything, so I wait until I hear her wake up and go to work, and on the days where she doesn't work, I don't know when she's awake, and it kind of sucks.
No, I get that, but it just, I don't know, because I have in a previous life been a morning person, and maybe I'm just turning into a morning person again.
That I don't know. Could be. You could be returning back to the nature.
Yeah, maybe now that I'm exercising and doing a little bit more healthy things, maybe my body's like, finally, we return to where you need to be, and that's waking up at 5 a.m. And you know what? Why not? Maybe that is what I need to start doing, but it all stems from constantly switching time zones back and forth.
That's fair. Yeah, switching time zones is not fun, and I'm glad. I as much as I would love to travel more, I am kind of glad that that's not something my brain has to reconcile with, is constantly switching time zones like that.
Well, and it's like, it's only an hour difference, which you think wouldn't matter that much, but
it
when
does.
I go over there, like the person I stay with goes to bed at 10:30. But 10:30 over there is 9:30 here. So like, that's why I started getting used to going to bed at 9:30.
9:30. Ooh, that's fun.
9:30. No, because you're going to bed. Nothing is happening.
Hey,
you're sleeping.
Hey, somnophilia, baby.
No, because everyone is asleep. There's nothing happening. We're boring. We're adults.
Tragic.
What is ball lightning?
I don't know exactly what it is, but I know that my mom's got struck by it once.
By ball lightning?
Yeah. Or no, she didn't get struck by it, but she was in a room with it when it struck. Like it burst through the ceiling, and she saw it in the room, and she told me about that story, and it sounds terrifying. I don't know how to feel about it. Is that next on the list?
Crazy. Yeah, because it's like super rare. So that's crazy that she's actually seen it. And like that matches, this is something, obviously there's a lot of conspiracy theories about it because it's so mysterious, but that matches a lot of the descriptions as people being like, yeah, it like came into the room, like either through it like coming through the ceiling, or sometimes people say it will phase through the window.
Yeah, which is wild to me that it can do that, but it can.
And then it will just like be in the room, and it's like crazy. Anyway, so this phenomenon is so weird that scientists aren't even sure if it's a real, despite being witnessed, they say so widely, but
I mean, there's a lot of reports of it happening. It is pretty rare, but the amount of reports make me think that it exists. It just, I don't know, it's strange. It's the consistency of the reports. Yeah. Like whenever you get reports of aliens and stuff, like a lot of the times they're incredibly different stories. And yes, they could be real, and the aliens are just incredibly diverse. But like with a natural phenomenon like this with ball lightning, the fact that pretty much every story is exactly the same is like, yeah, this is probably a real thing. And I think we have video evidence of it. It's just...
I have seen at least one video that is suspected to be ball lightning.
Yeah, but it's just so weird. Ball lightning is very strange. Anyway, what does Watch Mojo have to say about it?
Spherical objects apparently made of pure light or electricity are reported in foul weather, literal balls of lightning flying through the air. Interestingly, scientists have been able to recreate things that resemble lightning balls. Wow, I didn't know lightning had those.
And damn lightning, pop off, queen.
But nobody knows whether they actually are creating ball lightning or not. And even if they are, it's still unknown how those conditions were replicated in nature. There are dozens of different theories, many with a lot of scientific evidence backing them up, and many scientists are still investigating ball lightning today. I don't know why that was an and.
Okay, there are a dozen different theories, many with a lot of scientific, and many scientists are still... I mean, it makes logical sense to write it like that, but I feel like it could have been written better.
It feels weird.
Yeah, that's bad phrasing.
But we just don't know how it happens or what it really is.
I mean, that's the hard part about uncommon natural phenomena. Like, we understand earthquakes, which are pretty rare, because they happen on a smaller scale, and when they happen large, they have a tremendous impact. So we've done a lot of research into them. We've also done a lot of research into tornadoes because they happen pretty commonly, and you can observe and understand the effects. You can kind of predict them now. With things that are less common like this, simply knowing that they exist isn't the same as being able to, like, actually research them, because you don't know when they're going to happen. You don't know how to get your equipment in the right place. They just happen sometimes, you know? They just appear. And the effect they have is like as small as a single room. And you can't have your equipment ready if you don't know they're going to fucking happen. You know, so I kind of get it. I see why this is such a hard thing to research. But I'm pretty certain these are a real thing. These are cool. Yeah, that is cool.
I would love to see it in real life, just so that I can record it and be like, an angel came to me. Do something really stupid. Create some conspiracy theories around it.
Yeah, and that does beg the question, how often do you see like reports of angels throughout history where it's just ball lightning happening and people are misinterpreting giant ball of light as religious thing, you know?
Maybe.
Or vice versa. Maybe they are real angels coming down to say hi to us.
Maybe it's an actual fucking angel. Have you thought about that, Seth?
I have.
Open your mind a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. What's number 7? I haven't scrolled down that far yet.
Yeah, coming in at number 7, we have How Did Life Begin on Earth?
Oh, fucking good question. That's something that we've all pondered for quite some time. Because, like, if it was a single cell, where did that first cell come from? You know?
So, on the first day, God
in the beginning,
there
was the Word, and the Word was God. You know what? And for me as a Christian, I'm content with that answer. But
you're content with that answer.
I am content with it with being with creation. Yeah, I do agree that creation and evolution both happened. I think that they can both coexist. But if you think about the single cell thing, it's got to come from somewhere. Where did that happen? You can't just rearrange a bunch of particles and chemicals and eventually they form life. Actually, the hard part is just trying to draw the distinction between life and not life, you know? Because, like, maybe there were things that were basically cells, but not living, you know?
And, like, this is something, like, people will tell you that, yeah, you can just eventually magically find a random set of chemicals that will spawn into life. And it's like,
but if that happens, what makes it life? What qualifies it as life, then?
Like, who knows? Like, wild. That's the problem. Watch Mojo says, we'll be talking more about the universe later.
Pop off, Watch Mojo.
But one of the biggest mysteries facing our species is how exactly we got here. There are 6 chemical elements believed to be crucial Holy shit. Be crucial for forming life.
That's a lot of weird syllables right in a row.
No,
I get it.
No, it's a perfect sentence. I'm just bad at reading it for some reason. Carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, and sulfur. But how did they all get to Earth, and why don't they all seem to exist on other planets in our solar system? We just don't know for certain. The earliest evidence of life we've been able to find on Earth also dates back to roughly 3.7 billion years ago, which is certainly a long time ago, but Earth itself is over 4.5 billion years old. So what triggered life to begin after so long without it?
Okay, so Watch Mojo's taking a very different angle on this than I usually see from scientific discussions here. Because, like, getting the chemical elements to Earth is honestly the easy part. Like, trying to assess it, because we know Earth had collided with another planet at some point in time. And that planet, the majority of it got folded into Earth, and then about, like, I think 30% of the other planet got, like, launched off into space, and it became the moon. So we know that Earth itself was just like big old molten ball of magma, and it had a decent amount of those just due to random collisions in the universe. And then that other planet brought the rest of it and A, put us in the orbit that we needed to be alive, and also B, gave us those materials. So getting the elements to Earth is pretty easy for scientists. My question, I think the latter part of that is like, yeah, there were about 1 billion years where Earth existed, but life didn't. That's the hard part for me to think about, is like, if we go with that theory of like, there's a single cell, is it just the wind scattered the right materials into the right place to make microscopic life? I don't fucking know.
Isn't it like tide pools? That's what created life? Like,
yeah, tide pods created life.
Tide pods. No, like the tide pools, like the little pockets of water that are like sometimes wet, sometimes filled with water.
I guess I can see that. I guess that can make sense. I've been looking at a lot of like microscopic videos recently. I've been watching Journey to the Microcosmos. Shout out to that channel.
Are you the one who sent me? No, that was Soba. I was like, are you the person who sent me like the video of someone simulating what life is like in the ocean in an aquarium?
No, that wasn't me. But I thought about sending you a video I saw about tardigrade sex.
Kinky. So like, no, because I'm pretty sure like because people say, oh, the moon is what helped life start on Earth because it like pushed those tides back and forth onto those tide pools, and it was there where things were able to mix just right, and it was like the perfect conditions for things to start combining and evolving and spreading and multiplying until eventually you had like tiny little microscopic, technically life organisms that were able to exist there. Also, I argue with this article's assertion that you need those 6 chemicals to have life. That's the 6 chemicals that you need for life here on Earth.
Yes, I've had that discussion many times. Is that other life, like scientists have had discussions about like silicon-based life out there in the universe.
I was just about to say silicon-based life. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm just saying, Watch Mojo, maybe get a science degree before you start.
Oh, do you really think Watch Mojo puts any actual research into these articles? Absolutely not.
I mean, just surface
and neither do
level
we,
stuff.
The most most we do is look up Pierce Me.
Yeah, the most we look up is furry porn comics. No, because, like, I mean, we know surface level enough just in our big boy brains.
Big boy brains,
we can figure stuff out. But, no, but it is weird. Like, how do we get to those certain chemicals all together in just the perfect right way for life to finally exist?
Hard question.
Anyway, we'll talk about that more later.
Really?
Coming in at number 6. What's the oldest possible age for a human?
242.
Great. Tell that to scientists. Because this is an interesting one. We know what the average age for a human is, which depends on various factors and demographics, but what the absolute upper limit on how long we can live? Well, the oldest verified human was ever was French woman Jeanne Clement, who lived for over 122 years, and plenty of people have extraordinarily lived to be over 110. Mm-hmm. But as medicine continues to advance, are we going to be able to prolong human life even more to unforeseen ages? This is definitely a possibility, and why we just don't know what the maximum age for a human is right now. Which also, if you haven't seen it, they've been able to drastically extend the life of mice.
Oh, nice.
Rats.
Hell yeah.
Like, drastically.
By how much? Like decades?
I would have to look up to give you the exact, but it's like...
And again, as we just mentioned, we don't do research here on this podcast.
Yeah, I've just been able to hear about it through various things.
That's fair. That's pretty cool, though.
But it is very cool. There's also, like, feed them yogurt and they get bigger balls, so... Eat your yogurt, kids.
Eat your yogurt, kids. But yes, okay. So in terms of aging, this is something I have thought about a fair bit, is that no human dies of old age itself. There is always some sort of cause. Something specifically gives out, and whether it's a bacteria or something eating away at the brain or something along those lines, you just become more susceptible to that as you age. But if we...
Well,
go ahead.
Yeah, because what it is the more our cells divide, because the way it was described to me is it's like a game of telephone, but the players are like pretty good.
Yeah.
But they're not perfect. So every time our cells divide, that DNA in each one gets slightly less correct in its coding. So the longer that we live, the more and more those cells have divided, become, more and more in cells.
And that's what aging is in and of itself.
So those cells that are produced much later in life are much more susceptible to mistakes, and that's what causes the body to start to decline.
And that's what makes me really fascinated about CRISPR, gene editing, because if you can edit genes, if you can correct those mistakes with technology, then suddenly we're not aging. The errors in those genetic codes can be adjusted, they can be fixed, which means that we won't still be susceptible to the things that kill us in old age anymore.
We're all lobsters.
Suddenly we're all lobsters.
Yeah.
The only things we'll be susceptible to at that point is getting hit with a car.
Yeah, to a bullet to your brain.
A bullet to your brain. Yeah, I guess that does beg the question, I do think if we can correct that aging, and I think technology is very, very close to that, we might be able to bypass that, and we might be able to reach a point where age is not what kills us, where we only die to physical things.
Heart disease.
I mean, heart disease is it's partially external, partially internal. Large part of it is just your body can't fight off anything anymore. Yeah. It's weird. It's a hard question to have. And I know the answer to it, but I'm not going to tell you. It'll be my secret.
You have the cure to heart disease?
I have the cure to death.
I think you need to tell a few people that.
No.
I think
Fuck
that
you,
would be
people.
Philosophical question, would that be a benefit to humanity? To have the cure for death?
I don't know. Because I feel like people would still die. I feel like... Have you seen The Good Place?
I mean, cars would still exist.
You're right.
I've seen a lot of The Good Place, not all of The Good Place.
Have you seen like the ending, the last episode?
No.
Okay. There's one that comes up is like, if you can live forever, is there worth to it, or does life just eventually become boring and we all have our needs met and we have nothing else to live for? But if you can't choose to end it, is there really a reason to keep going? And I think that's something that I would be debated about. And I think people would still choose to end life. It's just, if the only route to death is suicide, what is the value of living that long? You know?
I started to think of, like, you know, at slaughterhouses, how they have like the bolt that goes into the cow's brain to shut it off. For some reason, in your dystopian future that you're describing, I imagined people lining up to get like one of those. I was like, why did I think that? But then I started thinking about the meme of like it was like a WikiHow article that was explaining that, and the cow had, for some reason, really beautiful eyelashes. So it was like a cow about to get deadbolted in the brain, and it was just.
Why did you have to call it a cow? What the fuck?
Oh shit! Do we have to bleep that?
No, we're not monetized.
Oh, well, what if we get like a warning that's like,
fine,
no,
I'll bleep it. I'll bleep it.
No.
That's wild.
I'm sorry. I'm making you edit more.
Me editing? Have you seen my latest video? Oh my god, that was too much editing.
I have not yet.
It was a 30-minute recording of Spelunky. It took me 5 hours to edit.
Jesus Christ. Well, I'm glad that you had fun.
I did not have fun. The end result is really fun. I'm very happy with how it turned out, and it was getting pretty average views, and then just like a few hours ago, 48 hours since it was uploaded, it's spiking, and I don't know why the algorithm picked it up. I'm happy it did, but it was so much work.
Hey, you know what? I'm glad that it's picking up. Hey, here's a question for you.
What?
Why is there more matter than antimatter?
That's a good question. I just think matter matters more.
Thank you. This is where we're getting into the
this is something we have talked about. Yeah,
we have talked about matter, antimatter, dark energy and whatnot. Like we talked about that.
I don't remember what episode that was.
No, but it was a while ago. It was in season 2, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, called the Maddie antimatter asymmetry problem. Scientists get better at naming things.
They're really bad at naming things.
This is a big question in physics. We didn't have a description of antimatter until the 1920s, but we know now that while regular or baryonic matter is made of protons, neutrons, and electrons, antimatter is made of antiprotons, neutrons, and positrons. Logically, it makes sense that there would be just as much antimatter as there is normal matter, but this doesn't appear to be the case. Physicists are working hard on this problem, since it's believed that the Big Bang should have created just as much antimatter. Some unknown force or phenomenon may be at work across the universe that prevents antimatter from existing.
Who knows?
Who knows? That's above my pay grade.
That one is above my pay grade as well. I'm like, we could speculate here all day. No, not about this one. This one ain't me.
I can have a little bit of a tangent here. There is currently a problem with the cosmic background radiation.
That is true, yes.
Because there have been 2 different ways to measure the expansion of the universe. And one of them is the standard candles, which was discovered by, what's her name?
Candle.
No.
The Candle Lady.
The Candle Lady. She's a very important person in science, and I respect women. I just can't remember her name.
It's okay. Anyone who's been listening for more than this episode knows that we are fucking horrendous at names. It's okay. I'm not going to judge you for not remembering.
I thought you were going to say anyone who's listened up to this point knows that we're fucking horrendous at women.
Yeah, we're misogynistic as all hell. Yeah, that other YouTuber I was saying that we need to cancel, that was actually us.
Yeah, we are actually so misogynistic. We cannot stand women.
We hate women. We hate gay people. We hate all people, actually. Well,
can you please look up who came up with standard candles?
Who came up with standard candles? Sure. I guess I'll do your research for you. Fine.
No, I appreciate it, because this is someone who has been historically shut out from
Henrietta Swan Leavitt.
There we go. Henrietta Swan. She was a computer. That was her job. She was a human computer, and she was the person who came up with the standard candle way of measuring the distance of stars in the universe and how far the universe had expanded. Really cool, really important, and it's still something we use to this day.
Yeah.
So really cool stuff. But then there's also like the more advanced technical way that we've done it, which I can't remember exactly how it's done it. But anyway, those two ways that we measure should, in theory, give us the exact same answer at how fast the universe is expanding, but it doesn't.
They don't. And that's fucking weird.
Yeah. I know what the other thing is.
What?
The cosmic background radiation that I said at the beginning.
Yes.
That's the other way that we measure how fast the universe expanded. But they don't measure up. Like, they don't actually work together. So now we're like, what the hell is happening? Why don't they actually match? That means that there's either one of them is wrong. Our physics is wrong, meaning the way that we've done space math, the way that we've done space math for however many years might be just wrong, or two, there could just be some natural errors that they're trying to figure out. And it's like through the James Webb Space Telescope. Sorry, this is from my hyper obsession when I got super obsessed with space. Remember that episode?
Yes, I remember that all too well. Oh. Hey, at least it was better than the Naruto one. I'll take that.
Well, I'm still obsessed with Naruto.
I know.
That'll never go away.
I know.
So we can think of this as like, how strong is Hashirama?
All right, logging out of Discord right now. Fuck you.
So I was waiting for you to realize that was a Naruto reference.
It took me a little bit, yeah.
So, like, that's something that they're trying to fix with the James Webb Space Telescope, because it is a much more accurate measuring system, and they're able to see the standard candles better, which I guess I should explain. The standard candles are like big, bright stars in our like solar system that are reliable to look at. Like, they are big, you're able to see them, there's not a lot of interference when looking at them, either through our atmosphere or through other stars, so it's very easy to measure how far those are and use the Pythagorean theorem from those two stars plus a third point that's somewhere else to figure out distances and whatnot, and that's the standard candle. If I am wrong anywhere there, scientists comment below.
There's no scientists watching this.
How do you know?
This podcast is without science and God. This podcast stands in spite of all things natural. Let's be honest here.
Something that we've talked about at least twice today.
What?
Science and God.
That's true. Anyway. Hey, it's gonna show up on I don't know what's left on this list. We got 4 more, but it's probably gonna happen again where we talk about either science or God.
What causes Alzheimer's?
Me. I cause Alzheimer's.
You cause?
No, I'm sorry. That's horrible. That's horrible. I do not cause it.
That is very horrible. So, though tens of millions of people are tragically affected by Alzheimer's disease, the most common form of dementia, we're struggling not only to treat it, but also learn why it happens at all. There's a hereditary element, and certain things are believed to be risk factors, but we're not sure what actually causes the cognitive decline seen in the condition. Some studies have put forward theories, the most well-known of which is the amyloid hypothesis.
Interesting.
But many more scientists and doctors dispute those studies and say that they aren't rigorous enough. And even that if that theory is correct, it's existed for decades, and we still don't understand the disease or how we might one day cure it.
Okay. I mean it would be nice to figure that out. It would be nice, because if you figure out the origin of it, you're right. That does lead us to an idea of a cure.
Yeah. Which, I mean, we have done some breakthroughs that are more recent, which I don't think are like 100% accepted.
That's true. When was this article? This article was... They do not date it. They did not date this article. Fuck you, Watch Mojo. Oh, God.
As far as I know, it's very recent. But yeah, so like we know... we don't know, but there's been some studies that have suggested some things that are very promising in the, the seek for a cure of Alzheimer's. Mm-hmm. And part of that is like, we still don't know what, because it's like migraines right now. It's like they've been able to at least isolate something that causes it. They don't know why it's there.
They don't know why it causes it.
Yeah, but they've been able to figure out a treatment to direct at that thing, and it has seen some success.
That's good.
In lessening the effects of Alzheimer's. So there's some promising stuff there. So anyone that's like worried about this topic, there is promising work in that field, which is really cool.
Hell
really
yeah.
Cool.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah, again, this is all off the dome. Could be wrong. Please look up your own stuff.
I love being wrong.
Number 3, what is dark matter?
Huh? But okay,
because we talked about antimatter.
Yeah, we're coming back to antimatter.
Dark
and then,
matter.
Yeah.
So, to return to the subject of matter, less than 5% of everything in the universe is normal matter. Of the remaining 95%, over a quarter of it is dark matter, stranger even than the elusive antimatter. We don't know what dark matter is, but we know it's there because it interacts with gravity. Mm-hmm. Galaxies, for instance, don't have enough matter to maintain their shapes gravitationally if you only consider normal matter. Therefore, some other type of matter must exist. It's completely invisible to us, unable to reflect or emit light, and we have no real way to know. And we have no real way right now of knowing what it is, how it works, or how it came to exist and be so abundant.
I don't know how much I believe this. I don't think that there is dark matter. I just think that there's another fundamental force of the universe that is... It influences how matter attracts one another similarly to gravity, but is different from gravity. But I don't think it's a physical form. Like, I don't think there's a physical thing called dark matter that influences that. You know? Like, that seems... The lack of presence... The fact that it only interacts with gravity tells me that it's not a physical thing. It tells me it's a fundamental force. You know?
It could be a force. I mean... That gets into the thing is gravity a force, or is it also...
That is also a good question.
Matter?
They've been trying to identify whether or not gravity is in fact a force.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things that don't work unless you make gravity also a particle of matter.
Uh-huh. Which is wild to think about.
Right, which is why, like, there's constantly scientists talking about proving the graviton, if you've ever heard anything about that. And that is the hypothetical particle of gravity, meaning gravity would be a physical thing and also a force.
It's a physical thing, but you can't see it and you can't touch it. So, you know, is it really... Yeah.
Like light.
Like light. Well, you can see light.
Yeah. But, I mean, I can see gravity... There you go. So
actually that's the effect of gravity.
But so like that's what it is. Like it's like light, but we wouldn't be able to see it. So,
maybe migraines are caused by gravity.
Could be.
Maybe gravity also causes Alzheimer's. Maybe every single item on this list is just gravity.
Maybe every item on this list is God laughing at us.
True. That would be honestly that would be really funny. Just kind of like if I were God.
Okay, continue the thought. If you were God, you would be like, fuck yeah, give them all Alzheimer's.
Well, like, okay, not give them Alzheimer's, but just like throw in random shit that knowing that they will never be able to Alzheimer's beam. But no, like I would like once every 1,000 years or so, just kind of patch in a random update to the universe and say like, hey, these humans have, like, they're getting smarter and smarter. Let's throw them a little curveball here.
Let's throw them a little curveball. That thing that they thought was just a wave, make it a particle.
Make it a particle too. Fuck it. Or like, we just slightly curve the space-time continuum. Just like, yeah, they thought they were on the inside of it. No, make them on the outside.
Yeah, just, you know how they had like this theory about like the standard candles or whatever? Dumb name. What if they just measured it a different way and it was different?
I feel like I would be a little bit more extreme at one point in time. Like I'm like, hey, you know, fire? What if we just extinguished all fires and made it impossible for fire to start again? Like that would really fuck with them, right?
That would ruin society.
That would ruin society, but it'd be really funny. It'd be so funny. Come on, talk about a prank, bro.
That's what they did
Jesus
with the Berenstain Bears. That's what that was. It was God being like, what if they all thought that it was an E and not an A? Let's just do that to make them panic a little bit.
Yeah.
In the same vein, number 2 is, what is dark energy?
It's when you drink too many Red Bulls. It's when you drink so many Red Bulls you black out.
It's what I feel when I look at Joe Biden. So, if 5% of the universe is normal matter and 27% is dark matter, The remaining 2/3 are the mysterious substance, if it can be called a substance at all, in existence, dark energy.
Mm-hmm.
We know even less about dark energy than about dark matter, and we only know it exists in the first place because of the observable acceleration of cosmic expansion.
Didn't they recently discover it's not accelerating anymore? Like it's slowing down? I think they determined that it's slowing down now. Like it was accelerating and now it's slowing down.
No. I
remember hearing about this from my roommate who's much more obsessed with space than I am.
I don't think it's slowing down. I think they realize that it ebbs and flows in waves.
Yes.
Is what it is.
So like right now we're in a wave of it slowing down.
Right. But it'll continue again. Like it's still expanding. But it expands either faster or it'll slow down a little bit and then it'll go faster, slow down, faster, slow down. And like it'll continue, but it's still expanding. It's stopped expanding.
Yes, I didn't say that. I didn't say it stopped expanding. It's contracting again. I said it's slowing down. You're refuting a point that you're making a straw man.
No, I'm not, because when you say it's slowing down, that means the assumption is then that means there'll be an inevitable stop.
No. Just that it's slowing down temporarily.
It's a slow down period,
like right now.
To once again speed up again, to slow down again, to speed up again. I think that is something that they have discovered.
Which that's fascinating to me. Like what the hell is the cause of that? That's much more interesting. What if we're just inside someone's lungs?
I thought you were about to say someone's belly. And I was going to be like, Seth, calm down. So the universe is still expanding and expanding faster and faster. That's what Watch Mojo says. The dark energy is somehow related to this, expanding to fill in the gaps and spaces as everything gets further and further apart. The universe is only going to get bigger, and dark energy is quite possibly to blame.
Yeah.
Sure. Scientists.
I think
we need to consolidate some stuff.
I think this is Watch Mojo being bullshit. I think this is them not understanding what dark energy is.
No, I mean that is, as far as I know, like what dark energy is attributed to is the expansion of the universe, and something is causing the universe to continuously expand. I don't know. Is it the number 2 mystery of the universe? I don't know.
The number 2 mystery of the universe is whose tummy are we in right now?
Whose tummy?
Who vored the universe?
What cosmic dragon do we live in?
All right, last one. What's number one on the list?
Are we alone in the universe? Remember when I said we're gonna get back to life?
We're getting back to aliens, baby.
We're back to aliens. The universe is so incomprehensibly vast that it seems absurd that Earth is the only planet out there capable of hosting life.
You're right. It is absurd that Earth is the only planet out there. There are other planets.
Yeah. That's right. I didn't stop at a weird part. Scientists have found plenty of exoplanets that appear to be well suited to it, but we still have no evidence of extraterrestrial intelligence. Statistically, it's more likely than not that there are other intelligent species in the universe, but where are they? Why can't we communicate with them? There may be many explanations for this. Maybe there were intelligent life forms that died long
Why did that
ago.
take you so long to read that?
I was
wondering, you paused. I'm like, is Tracy about to say something, or is he just struggling with his part?
No, I don't know. My brain shut off there for a second. Or maybe space is just too big to even send messages between planets. But the question of whether there's anybody out there remains one of the biggest mysteries for our species.
Interesting.
There we go. I mean, one of the weirdest, like, theories that I like to think about is either we are the first or we are the last. And thinking about the implications of that.
Of either,
like,
yeah.
What would that mean? Yeah.
That would be weird.
There was like this, like, I love Tumblr. There's like 2 different Tumblr text posts that I think about when I think of this. And one of them is like this really short story about how the Earth is constantly sending radio signals up into space constantly over and over and over again. And then one day we get one singular radio signal sent back to us, and it's something like, you need to be quiet, they're listening. And that's why we've never heard anything else.
I've heard about that.
Yeah,
I have heard that text post. That's funny.
Yeah, really, it's not funny. Like, it's just a really good short story.
Yeah.
Like, very well written. I really like it. And the other one that I think of is, I forgot.
And that's even funnier, baby. Let's go.
I fucking can't remember anymore. But yeah, so there it was a text post that was just like, what if we are the civilization that what if we are leaving the ruins for the next civilization to explore, or something like that.
Oh, that's a lot more dark. That's a lot harder to think about.
Well, like that idea. Yeah, it's existential, because you're like, what if we are the first? What if we are the first intelligent life that was developed in the universe?
We're the cavemen.
And, in another 4 billion years, there'll be advanced life forms coming to this earth to be like, this is where it all started. This is the earliest civilization we've been able to find. Like, they were so primitive. They only had 2 genders.
We're smarter than that. We had many more, but they'd fuck us up. Future species would misinterpret that. Yeah, they would.
Yeah, they would.
They only had 2 balls.
For some reason, there would be Tucker Carlson preserved.
No, anything but that.
And that's how they would understand our civilization, is through the lens of Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens.
Ben Shapiro.
No, he would be completely erased.
That's true. Yeah, no one's gonna preserve Ben Shapiro.
No.
After the Aquaman bit, no way.
Didn't you know H Bomber guy completely destroyed him with facts and logic?
That is hard to think. I think that's more terrifying than just the existential dread of us being the start. Is just the fact that whatever comes after us is going to look back at us, and they're going to have to identify what we were based on what we leave them. And we're leaving an internet full of information, but a lot of that is just bullshit. A lot of that information is A, non-physical, and B, bullshit. So if they are able to access it, what are they going to find, and how will they interpret it? Like, what will they interpret as our understanding of the truth?
They worshipped these little gods called minions.
There was a Super Bowl ad about the minions discovering AI. Do you think that they're going to identify minions being the origin of artificial intelligence?
Maybe.
I hate that.
Their little yellow gods created artificial intelligence for them.
This is horrifying.
I mean, I just hold hope that since they're sometimes at night when I'm feeling alone and scared, I think if there is an infinite universe, and if there are infinite versions of that infinite universe in an infinite multiverse, somewhere out there, furries have to be real.
True. Yeah, I do think furries have to be real. And again, that's a big part of why I like CRISPR. We can be furries someday.
That's my comfort. Is that somewhere out there, furries do have to exist. That there is a furry version of me dating the most handsome furry version of someone else, and they're just absolutely wrecking each other. and that's what keeps me going.
Let's go, baby. Hell yeah, I love that.
Thank you so much for listening to the podcast.
Do I not get to share what gives me comfort?
Oh,
I was going to end it a bit more of a wholesome note than a humor note, but that's fine. You can go on. End the episode. I'm kidding. I think for me, the idea that gives me comfort here is when I start thinking about existential, I don't think about the infinity of the universe or like the multiverse, anything like that. I think about, again, how we're going to be received in the future. And I think that it's our duty, or it's our responsibility right now to try and make our legacy as positive of one as they can be. Because I want people to look back at this time in human history, at the 2000s, and say, hey, these people were good. They were trying their best. And I think that's something that can be achieved. And I think that's what I'm striving for on a daily basis, is not the grand scale things, but just here in this little part of where I live, just leaving something behind that says, yeah, we were good. We're doing our best to be good people.
That's really nice.
Thank you. Okay, now you can end the episode, fucker.
I was like, I want to be remembered for having a fat ass that won't quit.
Hell Thank you for listening baby.
To Rank Masters. It's season 3. We're going to be doing things a little bit differently, but don't worry. We're going to be here. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, now we're gonna beef even harder, apparently. No, I'm kidding. I think I know what you're alluding to, and yeah, we might have a few changes about how we handle the season. We're gonna figure it out together. We're not 100% certain, but we'll progress through this together, and we'll roll with it. Feel free to talk about it. Goodbye.
In the Discord.
we don't have a Rank Masters Discord. I have a Discord. There's an ODISeth Discord.
Go to Seth's Discord.
I haven't been linking it. Should I link that in our episodes? Should I just add it to the descriptions of our videos now?
I don't care.
I'll do that.
Why not?
I'll go back and retroactively do
you
that
can
for
foster
all the
the Discord. I'm never on Discord, so don't message me there.
That's fair.
No, thank you so much. Also, shout out to who got us the fan art.
Yo, Dankster McMeme. Holy shit. That was some great fan art. I fucking loved that. That was fantastic.
Flash it on the screen a couple times.
Yes. I genuinely thought about using this like as the thumbnail for this video. I don't know if we're going to be able to. I'll have to ask Dankster if that's okay. But like, I'll have to ask you if that's okay as well. But Dankster McMeme made fan art of Trace and I eating a cake for a 1-year anniversary of this podcast. I'm like, hell yeah. And it had the I Want to Believe poster in the background. And I'm like, that's great.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was really good.
It was so good. Like, that's awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you to all the listeners and for people being patient as we took this hiatus.
Yeah.
As Seth and I mended our friendship.
As we mended our friendship. Yeah. We again, I'm glad we don't hate each other now, Trace. We made up, we made out. That's the way that life should be. That's how you should resolve all your relationship problems. It's just if you're beefing with someone, kiss them.
Tongue them. Anyway, thank you for listening. Check out the Discord, comment on YouTube, leave us a like.
Review. I don't know if that's a thing anymore.
Yeah, leave a review if you find us on some other platform.
Yeah. Do all those things and we'll make another episode, but we won't do it unless you do that. Goodbye.
Goodbye. I'm gonna order some Papa John's.
Yeah!